night with the OGs. Tryna make money with the OGs. In the streets, I be hustling, but they don't even know that I'm hustling. Future billionaires. Tryna be a future billionaire. Late night in the streets, hustling. Tryna make a little bit of money. Late nights in the streets, I'm tryna make a little.
Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you guys are well. It's Sunday night, it's raining, it's fantastic. I'm enjoying it. Yesterday was a really exciting day for me. Guys, I hope you guys are having a good time. I'm giving you a few minutes to get on board. I don't know how many people we have live. They're starting to load on, guys, so we need more time. Yeah? Can I continue? Okay, fantastic. So let me quickly start off by saying to you that I was meant to read all this stuff beforehand, but I'm going to skip that for 1 second. And I'm just going to welcome, first of all, everybody once again. It's the last webinar for December. We're going to give away 250 grand tonight. So have your fingers in the buzzers. Make sure you're online. We're going to choose them random. 150,000 rand person to make sure they win. And the balance are 40 of 5 grand each for December. So I hope everyone's going to be happy about their little contribution from ourselves. Tonight's going to be exciting. I'll give you a heads up as to what we're doing tonight so you know what's happening. So I talked about the cash prizes. Only those watching via website can win. So you need to go to the website. If you win, you need to email. You get it. shannonh@prworks.co.za. That's shannonh@prworks, capital H.co.za. Okay, so I've done all of that. Later on, we're going to discuss all the previous winners. By the way, before I go on, did you guys hear that wonderful and most amazing song that Sam done for us? Future, I think it's called Future Billionaires. I'm thinking of starting a small record label and buying up various artists to make sure that we can have like a nice compilation of music that I love. But I'm starting off with Sam. Sam done fantastically. He's done amazing. I listened to the song before dinner. It didn't make me throw up, so I was cool about it. No, it was very nice. And so Sam, well done. He's standing right there. He's going to be serving cappuccino just now, and a very famous artist in the making. Fantastic guy. He's working hard. He's doing good for the kids. Use the money well. He's one of the guys that won in this particular competition, and I'm so proud of him. Maybe towards the end, and maybe tomorrow, I'm going to put the music on the social media platforms. I want you to listen. And I'm going to see if I can launch it for Sam over December for the festive holidays. Okay, done with all the housekeeping. Let's quickly move on and talk about, so I've done the introductions, 5 minutes done. Just a quick thought before we go on. You know, we spoke about health. You guys all heard about that little health scare. I was trying to milk it in the media. I'm just joking. But it was an ugly time for me. But also an important time for me to realize that health is everything. But you need to find that balance, guys. I'm finding the balance. We're going to talk about Future Exotics quickly for a few minutes, and that brings me there. It took me since 2008 to 2009. I spent a lot of time trying to develop this concept of Future Exotics. I've done it in Cape Town successfully. It didn't make any money, but when I say successfully, I really loved it and enjoyed it. So I decided to do it in Johannesburg in 2008, 2009, and we only opened that place yesterday with the help and clear vision of a partner of mine who understands how exactly crazy I can be. And I'm not sure if he's worse than I am, but together we're a great couple. Take that back. We're a great partnership. And I'm hoping next year to introduce him to you guys, a great entrepreneur. He's a bit of a shy guy, but he's a nice guy. And when you get to know him, he's... I call him the truck driver from tonight. So he's got that truck driver look, you know, but very nice guy. I'm looking at him now there in the corner. But anyway, look, guys, so Future Exotics opened up last night. It was fantastic. It cost us a whole bunch of money. I think it was just over $250 million for the building and the infrastructure and so on. I couldn't believe it myself. While I was standing there and while people were coming in and out, I was like, geez, this is actually happening with the art. It became more of an art studio type of thing. It was just very, very special for me because it's something I really like, motor vehicles. I know I'm not good at making money with them. yet. That's why we're going to speak to Justin DeVarius tonight. Remember the guy with the big face? He actually doesn't look like that. That was an ugly picture. And he asked me to please apologize for that picture because he's actually a good-looking guy. He paid me a lot of money to say this, but he's going to come on the show just now. But moving on from Justin, I find that, you know, a lot of the entrepreneurs that are sending me stuff, the quality of the applications are becoming better. I found a great entrepreneur tonight, which I'm going to introduce you guys to. Fantastic guy with a great concept. I want to quickly remind you about some of the guys. One of the guys that keeps on coming back all the time to me around what he does well is the doctor and the cancer test. I'm getting more and more excited about that because I can see we can take that to market and we can make that amazing for people so that for a fraction of the cost of what they currently spend in trying to understand whether they have cancer or exposed to cancer, that they can find out and have a quick test. I hope that the results are going to come back good in terms of the pre-launching results, but it's going to cost many millions of rands. I do think that the doctor that's working on it at the moment, the professor, is going to make a lot of money. But I also think he's going to be adding a great amount of value to a lot of people out there. Cancer is a horrible disease. One of our family just got diagnosed with it in the last month. It's not nice. You know, you often think about these diseases that it can't happen to me. It's a crazy thing until it does. And then you wonder, like, I wonder why I was thinking that. So just be cautious about your health. Once again, make sure you're looking after your family's health, your kids particularly. Your wife, you know, obviously you can take that as a tertiary requirement, and all the kids first, primary, or should I say yourself. But also the wives, you know, they're quite important because, you know, we can live without them, but we choose not to because we love them, and that's always fantastic. But I want to go on to Future Exotics, and I want to play you a little bit of something about what happened last night and how things were amazing and what the evening was all about, and invite you guys to come and see the facility. I'm told that it's by appointment only. I'm lying, I did make it by appointment only because I don't want 1,000 people walking in there all the time. But I do think that it's a great place for us as Motti Moves entrepreneurs to find this place and utilize it to communicate and have some fun. And I do think that it'll be a great opportunity for people to buy some cars down there or get involved in transactions and that sort of thing. It's a family office for me and my partner, so that nobody has to worry about going to Motti Group or not coming. Am I involved there? Am I not? It's very clear. Dondo Mokhashani, my good brother, who I appointed to run the family business in South Africa, runs Motti Group. I'm saying that for the purposes of some of the silly media and stupid media out there. Some of the media are great with Dondo and they love them and love him because he's a great guy. But some of the guys that I'm referring to, and I don't want to use I don't want to get them, I don't want to let them use my space to make them famous because they're infamous bunch of fools. But I just want to be in that position where you understand that I run my own ship. I'm in Zimbabwe. I love it. I'm supporting you guys. I'm making a lot of time, you can see. I answer to everyone I possibly can on social media, by the way. And it's not an AI app that I installed to answer, I promise you. Because the AI English would be a lot better than what I'm giving you right now. So that's how you got to know that it's not AI. All right, so we go to the intricacies of entrepreneurship. I'm not going to lecture you guys on that because it's unnecessary. I want to talk about the new winner, the video. Oh, sorry guys, the video. I'm signing out quickly now for a few minutes. You check the video out. Give me your comments. Let me know what you think. Stop looking at the chicks there. I didn't look at one. I promise you, my wife looked the best, and my partner's wife also looked. And this evening, I said, "You guys look pretty okay." Quite nice. I said to my wife and my partner's wife, "You guys look quite nice." And they said, "Oh, all right, quite nice." I didn't get it, but I thought it was a good gesture. See you on the other side of this video. Okay, guys, am I live? Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you're finding that informative. It's, by the way, this place is on Santon Drive. The easiest way to find it is if you see the plane. I think it's a MiG that's on the roof. You can't miss it. It changes color at night and that sort of stuff. It's just on Santon Drive as you come in from William Nicol, coming into Santon Drive on your left-hand side. It's down there. It's going to be open, I think, a little bit during the December holidays. And then obviously going to be open in January full time when we come back from our little break. But moving on, we've spent a lot of time on this jargon. Let's move on to the new winner. I want to invite into this particular program a nice guy. I met him and we've been chatting about things. His name is Armand Redgaard. Armand, please come to the podium. So let me tell you about Armand. He's the only thing I really know about him right now is that he's had a stroke of genius around thinking about new ways. Come on, buddy. Come closer. Come on in. Come on closer. Right. So Armand, you need to come closer. Right. Are we there? Right. Well, Armand is sitting on my leg now. So Armand is a gentleman. Is that right, Armand?
That's correct.
How do you know you're a gentleman, Armand?
Pretty sure.
Okay, good. Okay, Armand has no kids, girls out there, just to let you guys know. I think you'll be having more children in the future. He's a young man that loves sport, but most importantly, Armand is a professional designer and I think architect. Is that correct?
Correct.
He hails out of Durban,
Durban?
and he believes in world peace. No, I'm joking. Okay, Armand, tell us a little bit about your whole idea and where you come from.
Well, I like the idea of world peace,
Yeah.
but maybe not today.
Okay.
I just want to tackle one part of the problem. It's the problem we're having. It's the electricity problem. And my idea pretty much is just an idea of boosting what we get from solar panels by adding wind generation and hydro generation from rain and wind. So
Okay.
I'm trying to get a all-rounded energy output from our environment.
So let me just chip in there. You know, these educated people, unlike me, they get so involved in these explanations. I'm just a layman. I'm going to try and give it to you like straight up. You got a house and you want to generate electricity. Armand's your man. He comes along and puts his fancy contraptions into giving you electricity that comes out of the wind. I presume that's like some wind piece of equipment, right?
Yes.
And what is it called? Like a wind?
Well, I've just called it a wind generator. But
Wind generator. Okay. Is it a mechanical product?
Yes,
Okay,
it's definitely
fantastic.
mechanical.
So, by the way, Armand's business is called WISP, which is,
Wind innovation, solar and power.
I asked someone that the evening, they said it meant something else, but it's wind and innovation.
Solar and power.
So it's WISP. And so he puts his fancy stuff into your house that is able to extract energy out of wind. And then he also utilizes the water within your gutters and in your natural flow. I'm not talking about your loo now, but the natural flow of the other waters, particularly rainwater that comes in to generate power. And what do you think it'll be sort of costing around this particular initiative for one household to be in that position?
It's a good question, something we're going to work out, but I'm definitely working around
1,000 rand a month, 2,000 rand a month?
Possibly, if I can get it lower, I will.
Yeah.
I want to bring the cost of a full solar installation
Sure.
down,
Yeah.
and I think these units will do it.
Sorry, Armand also includes the solar, so it's wind, water, and sunshine, and uses those three areas of allowing you the opportunity to generate power so that you can utilize this power. But what's important for me is that it looks to me like it's positioned at residential.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, a lot of people are starting to go out there and focus on commercial because they feel residential is high risk. I don't think that that's necessarily the truth. I'm supporting this initiative because I think it gives you a household solution for power as a long term. But I want Armand to try and include the opportunity of trying to find other ways within the household to generate power as well. What I find very interesting is that I need to also understand the cost versus benefit of using the current power versus this particular power, and then utilize a type of financing mechanism to finance this opportunity to you, so that whether you were paying Eskom or whether you're paying a power supplier or you're paying Armand and myself some money in a shorter space of time, you'd have a free use of the product for a longer period of time. The things that concern me are maintenance. How's that looking for you, the maintenance?
I've specifically designed to very low maintenance, so you shouldn't have to fiddle with them.
Hey, listen, the
And-
Cybertruck guy said it's low maintenance.
Sure.
No, I'm
but
saying,
mine, even the wind units on the side of the building, you take a hose pipe, you're going to hose
Really?
them down if they get
Okay.
dirty.
Okay.
The rainwater units, because it's dealing with the rainwater, it kind of cleans itself.
Okay.
So as long as no big debris or anything gets in there, you're fine.
Yeah, I also think part of this initiative for me is to make sure that we support this young man. Or he's over 40 now, I'm trying to call him young man and stuff. He does look quite young. But the issue for me is to create opportunities from a job perspective, because as entrepreneurs, our job is to make sure that we create jobs. And what you want to do is be able to put him in a position where you license this particular product regionally, starting off in different provinces or different cities and towns, giving the end user an opportunity to apply for funding, so that one of the barriers to entry of this particular product is capital. And, excuse me, would like to approach the relevant banks in order to be able to be in a position to finance it for you. And if not, then certainly it's a product I would like to put into the market once he's passed the relevant stages of approval, and being able to offer it to the public so that for a shorter period of time, they can pay towards it on a monthly basis. And then eventually have, what's the life expectancy of this particular thing?
Probably about 5 years, 5 to 7 years, but we can make that longer.
Okay, so it can only last for 5 to 7 years?
The materials will probably last well for 5 to 7 years.
Okay, so we got to finance it to them for a lower period, like 3 years or half a period, so that there is an enduring. But what do you do with all of that stuff once it's broken?
Well, I'm trying to be as recyclable as possible. So hopefully we'll be able to use it again with a bit of fixing up.
No, fantastic. Look, I think, is there anything else you want to share with us around this particular initiative?
No, I just want to say thank you very much for the
No, it was
opportunity.
an absolute pleasure, and I
And,
hope you're going to use the money well. You did say you're going clubbing and drinking on
That's only on the
New
last
Year's
day.
Eve. No, I'm
New Year's.
kidding. No, I'm joking. Don't get any ideas there, guys.
Mm.
Please, if 250 grand, keep it like church money. And all that. So the bottom line is that we're going to start with this initiative and do a bit more homework on it. We're
Absolutely.
going to get to the process of trying to make it work for more than 5 years,
Sure.
so that it has a more medium-term type of utilization for it. And then we're going to be in a position where we try and bring a finance product online so that people can have access to it.
I'm very happy for
Congratulations
the
once
help.
again. I'm so happy to have met you. I like your product, and we'll keep you guys posted from next year. What I'm going to do on the website is do different types of updates from the different investments that we've made, and I think we have 7 or 8 now. And so you guys can follow it and track it and understand what it is that you can get out of it. And later on, when these things are successful, here's the good news. I'm going to give some of the people opportunity to participate for a certain percentage in this initiative. So I know that there are entrepreneurs watching this show. I also know that there are people that don't want to go through the trouble and times that I'm facing of having to find, harness, and bring these entrepreneurs to market. But when they are, I'd like to see more and more other entrepreneurs invest in it so that they can take ownership possibly of it and also add value. With that, we're going to say to Armand, thank you very much. You have a fantastic night. I know you're a bit nervous, but don't worry, chill out. You look fantastic. You did well. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Another Modi Moves guy. Amazing, fantastic. Thank you for that, Cotardo. Guys, I hope you guys are having a good evening. Please stop watching that carte blanche nonsense. Please tune on to my show, because I know it's the same amount of time. Everyone's tired of that rubbish. But now I got a special guest. What is his name again? Anybody? I'm joking. His name Justin. Elaborate on what you wanted for business ideas. I think I've spoken about the business ideas. I want you guys to come up with ideas like Armand to fix problems so that we can be in a position, whatever it is, if it is a specific type of thing that helps someone in doing some activity or achieving something, send it to us. Let's assess it. Let's be in a position to see whether we can finance it or add value to it or make some money out of a great idea. I think it's not too late for a lot of people to utilize the holiday. If you're hardworking and you have a job already, so you have a bit of time now in the holidays, come up with some nice ideas, send them to us. We're always on the prowl and look out for them. But right now, over to a 6-foot-plus man, a man that I know for over 2 decades. Please, Justin, come and sit, buddy. Just shift up a bit there.
How you doing?
Buddy. I am a bit.
Good.
So, Justin Tavares, did you wear your bra? No, I'm joking. We're hitting 50 now together. I know Justin for over 2 decades. We go back a long way. He's been inspiration for a lot of people around him. He's employed a lot of people along the way. But everybody knows Justin for one or two specific things. And I think people know him in our circles, and a lot of the entrepreneurs are there for motor vehicles, for starting motor vehicle related businesses, and for watches now, obviously, and not your regular G-Shock, but sort of like, I know that it was our favorite watch when we were 12 years old, but we've sort of moved on a little bit. So Justin, tell us about, first of all, when it comes to the cars and all of that nonsense, but just tell us about how it was growing up. Was it Pretoria?
Cape Town.
Cape Town, oh yeah.
So yeah,
But we do know a guy that grew up with you in Cape Town. We're not mentioning his name, but I did say we're just going to mention one or two things. We're not mentioning who it is, but he's a good brother of ours. We do know him. We're not saying who it is. And he's here standing behind. But okay, go on. Tell us about Cape Town.
Great. Firstly, thanks. Honoured to be on the show, guys. Great to inspire some entrepreneurs. So Zunaid, thanks for the invitation today. As Zunaid said, yes, we do go way back. I think it's about 25 years actually that we know each other. And I think we're both quite different people 25 years ago, trying to hustle and get started in life.
I still remember you had a bit of a tits though. I'm checking.
And yeah, he did put a terrible picture up of me on the advert to make himself look better, but he did look a lot better putting a terrible picture of me. Just want to get that out the way.
Listen, stop right there. I just want to tell you guys that when you hit over 40, the girls say that they know how old you are because it's in the neck. Can you see, Justin? You see? Okay, but go on, Justin. Okay, so tell us about your upbringing and how.
I grew up in Cape Town, humble upbringing.
What
grew
is
up
that?
In the streets of Sea Point.
Oh, yeah, okay.
My school fees were 85 Rand a term, that should explain it.
It's a lot, eh? Cheers, yeah.
And
Cheers, Danny. Sorry.
yeah, Cape Town was my upbringing. After leaving school,
Did you go to a
decided
private school?
No, public school.
Okay.
Public school, Sea Point High, great school. Met a lot of good people, a lot of good friends still today.
And you had a brother, right?
I had an older brother.
You have him still, right?
Yes, sure.
Dino.
Yes, that's it.
Right.
That's it.
I always used to say he's the more responsible guy.
He's the accountant.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
yes,
ran the watch
definitely.
business.
Definitely, that's right.
Right, so what happened? How were you at school? Were you kind of, are you going to tell us you were smart, obviously? I mean, you're not going to say you were talented.
I think, I was into sport at school, into a bit of academic
Academics?
stuff. I was the head boy when I left my school in matric.
Really?
It wasn't a great school, but
No, buddy. All right.
I left school to join the Air Force to serve national service in South Africa.
Wow, guys, listen to that, huh? Amazing.
I think it was a good thing at the time. It taught me discipline, taught me how to work with all types of people from all walks of life. Met a lot of interesting people I'm still friends with today. But yeah, it taught discipline and taught teamwork, taught a lot of good things, which I think was good at the time. And I was up in Pretoria, and that kind of got me.
Voortweke hoogte.
That's Valhalla.
Valhalla, okay.
And that got me up to Gauteng, and that's how my career started
Wow, good.
in Gauteng as opposed to Cape Town.
So he's an ex-SANDF guy. I don't know how to treat that now. But I'm going to take that positively because I know Justin's one of us. And he's always been very supportive. What was it like working in the SANDF? Was it like hectic? Or?
It
Lot of
was
black
an
guys
interesting
at that
time.
time.
It was 1992. So a lot of
Just before
unrest,
independence.
just before Nelson Mandela was released. It was before the new government. It was interesting time, a lot of unrest, but a good time for the country. A lot of positive things happening, even though there was unrest around it. But yeah, it was an interesting time.
So you were in those vehicles. What do they call them?
Rattles.
The rattles. Did
Sometimes,
you,
yes.
But you were in the Air Force flying planes? Or?
No. They didn't let me near the planes.
Really?
No.
Yeah. So you didn't actually do any
No,
flying?
I didn't do any flying.
Okay.
There was a time when I wanted to join full time, but I didn't.
So what do you
that.
do there when you go there? I mean, you train physically. That's it.
You train, you do basic training, and then you get put out into a certain career path there. Either you're protecting a
Snipers.
base, or you no, you're not
No
doing any of that stuff. Not doing that stuff in national service. We were 17 years old. We were still wet behind the ears. I think they were too scared to even give us guns, but we did have guns.
Is it?
But it was a
Did they
it was
used
a
to-
good time.
You pack you in those vehicles like those, and then send you to the border.
No. That wasn't our time. No.
All right.
No.
So look, we got a guy. He came out of a public school. He became a head boy, which is amazing for someone like that. He went to the military. How many years?
Only 1 year.
Only 1 year. So that was in 92ish, he said. And then what happened, buddy?
Went to study after that. a BCom degree, which this is an interesting point for you entrepreneurs out there. I'm not telling you to drop out, but I did 2 years, a year at UCT and a year at Rand
Wow.
University, Rao. In my end of my second year, I decided to leave university to start a business.
Yeah, me too.
And I would have liked to have got that degree. Don't get me wrong. To all of you guys out there, I think it's great to get a degree behind your belt, especially a business degree.
Would it have changed your course of action if you got the degree? You probably been poorer, because you would have known all the risks and all of that stuff.
I don't think it would have changed my course, but there are a few good things I learned. If I can give anyone advice out there, definitely do accounting.
Accounting.
Accounting was the number one thing I learned from university. Probably the only thing I've used today from university. Even from school, I'd say accounting and mathematics. So definitely gives you a good stead in life as an entrepreneur to understand the books and to understand cash flows, debits and credits. So get some accounting behind you, even if you're not going to varsity. Do an accounting course, it's going to help you.
Look, guys, I support him. I didn't finish my degree. Luckily, I finished matric. But, you know, I mean,
Best 5 years of your life.
yeah, best
Matric.
Yeah, matric was best. It was, why you say 5 years? Really? How old are you? It was fantastic. But look, you don't need a degree. I think a lot of the guys out there, I know Justin's pushing the idea of a degree. I think when you're so poor, sometimes you just don't have the money to do it. And,
Sure.
you know, I'm sure Justin wasn't like that. But the point is that you need to know where you're going. Stop focusing too much on the degree if you can't get it, but focus on studying accounting, listening to doing some mathematics, understanding those aspects. Because I think wherever you are in the world, you don't need a conversion course for 1 + 1. You know, like if you're a doctor, you need to understand things in a certain country. If you're an attorney, yeah, it's just straight mathematics and accounting and that sort of thing. So after that, Justin, what was the first business you started?
So I was very into sport at the time. Did a lot of sport at school, and my big sport at the time was basketball, and it was kind of developing in South Africa. And I decided to start a business doing sports development and coaching in the townships. Got some sponsors together.
Really?
Yeah, Coca-Cola, Wilson, Nike were some of the sponsors that came behind us. Even the British government put some money towards it. We used to run coaching clinics in the townships for soccer, basketball, cricket, different sports like that. Primarily, we focused on basketball and tried to get into schools, into some of the schools. And that eventually developed into a sports coaching business, and we had a couple of public sports centers.
Yes, and then how did you make your money first? I mean, this is quite a boring story. Let's get to the bits of making cash. What happened?
So after that business eventually evolved into some retail shops. That's where I learned a bit of retail on the sports side, also with the Nike brand. And after selling those shops and getting out of that business, I was looking for something more in the marketing field. I studied marketing and finance, as I said, and I joined. I went for a job interview at a company called Arthur Kaplan Jewelers at the time.
Oh, yeah, I do remember.
At the time, they had about 55 shops across South Africa, jewelry and watches. It was the premium jewelry chain in the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was employed as the marketing manager, knowing nothing about the industry.
Yeah.
And they gave me a chance and put me in a job as marketing manager.
Who were the owners?
At the time, it was McCarthy, the listed
Oh, wow. Okay.
McCarthy
Sean
Model Holdings.
McCarthy, that's where you met him, huh?
No.
no.
Oh, well, actually, I did, but
Yeah.
it was a listed company at the time. They owned the jewelry chain, and off I went as marketing manager there for a very paltry salary.
And then you eventually bought the business, right?
I then worked there a couple of years. I was promoted to operations director after taking more responsibility, long hours.
Look at the financials.
Yeah, 2-3 years later, I took over as managing director of the company at about 27 years old,
Started a bit
28
late.
years old. And the real entrepreneurial story, which I'd like to share with you today, is the next step in that chapter of that company. I still wasn't earning a great salary. I didn't have any assets to my name. And I had a desire to do more and own my own business and not work for somebody else. The listed company at the time was struggling a bit in terms of other investments that it had made. It was looking to sell off some of its divisions. And one Saturday morning, I was working in one of the shops, actually in Sandton City, serving customers. And a gentleman from First National Bank came in to buy his wife a watch.
Did you just say gentleman from FNB?
Is that a bad word? Yeah.
I don't call bankers gentlemen, but go on.
You know, this was a gentleman and a nice gentleman.
No,
He
nice,
came in to
nice.
buy a watch.
Did he have big teeth?
No, he didn't.
It's not that guy.
No,
eh?
no, he didn't.
Okay, so okay. Remember that. Yeah.
He came in to buy a watch for his wife. We got chatting. He said to me, "You're very knowledgeable. Are you the manager of the shop?" I said, "Actually, I'm the managing director of the company." He says, "But you've got 54 shops. What are you doing in the shop on a Saturday morning?" Explained to him, "I'm in the shop every Saturday morning. I want to deal with the customers. I want to deal with the product. I want to know the business. I want to know what's happening."
Fantastic.
He was obviously suitably impressed on the day, and he said to me, what are your goals? I said, "No, eventually I'd like to,
Own it.
buy this business or own this
Yes.
business." He said, "Come to my office on Monday morning and we'll buy this business."
Sure.
So that was an interesting story. 2 weeks later, I borrowed 45 million rand from First National Bank at the tender age of 28.
Wow.
And they came in as the 75% partners, myself as 25%, to purchase that business.
With the option to buy them out.
Option to buy them out, and over the next 2-3 years, I bought their share on a loan basis and paid off their loan over about 5 years.
Jesus,
That's how
listen
we
to
got
that,
started.
guys. This is a remarkable story because it involves a banking institution giving an entrepreneur a chance.
Yeah.
We're having less and less of that going on. I wish we could be having more of those stories today.
Well, that's a good point, Sir Nate. So I think, if it was a different time before
Yeah.
the National Credit Act, before all the stringent laws and regulations these days. It was a long time ago. And I think the biggest problem at the moment for entrepreneurs is access to capital.
Yeah.
The kind of things you're doing to provide capital, I think, are fantastic. And banks have become very tight in backing the jockeys. And everything's about,
Security. Cash
security and
flow.
cover. And I can understand it. They've had lots of losses. So
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it. It's the world we're living in now on the financial side, unfortunately. But for the young entrepreneurs out there, it is tough, and they have to look for investors, and not traditional investors.
So Justin went and bought the Rolex shops with other people's money, and then the bank's money, and he paid it back and made a success out of it because he had the tenacity, the vision, and he had the knowledge, more importantly, of it. And he took a calculated chance. In some cases, he had less to lose at the time. If he'd done the same deal today, I think he could have negotiated differently, I would imagine.
Sure.
So he has access to capital today. And then what happened, Justin? You went,
We, as I said, trust me, it wasn't easy. It sounds very easy. We paid the money back. We had lots of times we nearly went insolvent. We had lots of tough, big waves to sail.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're very green in the business, myself and my team at the time, in terms of understanding the size business and paying back loans of the size. So it wasn't an easy road. But eventually, we got through it and ended up owning the business 100% from the bank. My brother joined me as financial director. He was a financial director at a listed company at the time. He joined me in the business to assist me to put all the checks and balances in place. And as an entrepreneur, I give you advice too. Make sure you've got a good finance team, because as much as you may know the numbers in the books, you need a strong finance person to keep you conservative, keep you guarded, control the
Grounded.
rands and cents. Because us as entrepreneurs, we can run off with 100 ideas on sales and marketing, but somebody has to sweep up behind you. And
Yeah.
I think you know that well too, Sinead, with all your businesses. And
so how did the car thing start out? I
So-
remember when you sold it, right? And then you went into,
Sure. So while I had the jewelry business, I was always a car nut of racing cars, buying and selling cars. I was always mad about cars. It was a huge passion of mine.
where was the first car
um,
business you bought?
It was actually in the basement of Arthur Kaplan Jewelers.
Really?
Used to buy and sell cars from the basement, and we started buying a lot of cars and exporting BMWs and selling all sorts of things. And eventually I got a phone call from the then CEO of BMW South Africa. I'm talking now in 2003. So what's that, 20 years ago.
Jeez.
And he said, "Listen, you're a bit of a pest. You're buying from all my dealerships, you're reselling, you're running the market, you're doing your own thing." He said, "But obviously you've sold a lot of cars. What about taking on a real BMW dealership for yourself?" And I got the opportunity to take over a then insolvent BMW
The one in
dealership.
Jan Smuts?
Correct, in Hyde Park.
Okay, I know that one. I remember. Yes. So he takes over this BMW, Jan Smuts Avenue. I've been there. I remember we bought some cars there. What was it?
A lot,
M3
I don't know.
CSLs and all of that. It was his first dealership. He was with King.
That's
Brandon.
right, Brendan, sure.
We just don't want to forget about Brandon. Brandon, how's it? I hope you're watching there. He's a very like a good buddy of Justin and myself, but he's your partner, right?
Correct.
And from there, you went to Senton BMW.
Correct. And I think then Aston Martin story started. Had a passion for the brand, decided to approach the factory in the UK
Yes.
and asked them to bring Aston Martin to South Africa. At first, we weren't too interested. They said the market's not big enough. South Africa's not a market that could sell Aston Martins. They didn't see South Africa as a serious country. And we persevered and persevered. They came out once or twice, and eventually they decided to put it out to tender to a couple of the big players in South Africa. And a couple of the listed companies tendered. We were definitely the underdogs and the smallest players. And whether it was by luck or by chance or by convincing them, they decided we were the right guys to go with, as they felt we were going to be the entrepreneurs, we were going to be hands-on, we weren't going to hand the project off or the brand off to a big listed company that doesn't have the soul and the passion for the product. And that's how we actually got it, without the funding of the big companies, and
Wow.
not too sure how we're going to fund everything.
But you have partners, right?
Yes, I had great partners
So-
on board, and that's the other thing.
So his Jewish brother.
Yeah. We had a great partner in the form of Blue Spec Holdings, who came on board with us.
Blue Spec Holdings.
And
two
that's
big boys.
that's another thing out to the entrepreneurs out there. You know, it's not so easy to do it on your own. When you hit tough times, it's good to have good partners, back you up, support you. There's nothing like a good partner, and it gets lonely out there when you don't have them. And I've been there without partners. And when you hit those rough seas and you've got nobody to talk to, it's not easy out there. So it's hard to find a good partner. Let me make no mistake. But if you can get out there and get the right person or team behind you,
You can
or the
do
right
better.
partners, you can definitely do a lot more in
Look,
life.
I've seen this man go from owning a small dealership in Jan Smuts Avenue all the way to being now involved with Aston Martin, McLaren, Pagani, Koenigsegg, Rolls-Royce, Lotus, BM.
That's it.
No BM.
No.
Okay. So there's no more BMW. Sorry about that, guys. But definitely the other brands are alive. You guys know Daytona. How did the name Daytona come about? I can't remember. You told me once.
So yeah, basically myself
The
and
watch.
Brendan from the watch, the famous Rolex Daytona, which
Yes.
is a commemorative of the Daytona race
Yes.
in the US, and the Daytona Speedway and Le
So you just
Mans.
decided that's the name.
And we loved that watch, we loved that name, and we decided it's got a racing connotation, car connotation. That's where the name came from.
It's amazing how he's built something from nothing, and a great idea, supported by a bunch of entrepreneurs, and pretty much headed by him even today. Just tell me something. I understand that, and everybody who knows you understands that you've sort of taken a seat in the back now for a little while. What is all that about, and why did that come about?
No, yeah. I don't think so much a back seat, but I've got some great guys who've been with me a long time, both in the car business and the watch business.
Yeah.
Some real great entrepreneurs too. Young guys who started with me at 16, 17 years old, and now they in their late 30s, some in their 40s. And it was the time to hand over the reins to some of the guys in the day-to-day operations. I'm still very involved as the head of the company and a major shareholder. But I've got some great guys running on the ground, and I'm more involved in the strategic and the brand negotiations and
You
dealing
can
with the
see
more
he was
top-end
in
customers.
marketing. Look at this political answer. You sure you're not part of the DA or anything like that? Because you're answering politically right here, buddy.
No
But I think that's
politics.
amazing. He's talked about a few things: access to capital, and how that's a problem. He's talked about successive management now. He's talked about partners and finding the right-minded people with the capital to shoulder you along the way. What about family and health? Let's talk about that for a moment before we let you
Sure.
go.
So yeah, family is one of the reasons you sometimes take your foot off the gas and try to delegate more and free up some free time. As we know, our biggest, most valuable asset for any of us is time.
Yeah.
And if you're not managing your time, you're not doing a great job as an entrepreneur. If you're working 24 hours a day and you've got no time for anything else,
Very true.
I don't think you're a success. You're actually not a success at life because you're not enjoying life. You're not allocating time to your family. And health is another very important part. And when I talk about a history of a lot of sport and discipline and all these things that keep you fit and healthy, you're not going to run a company if you're not in a fit state of mind, that you're exercising, you're keeping your mind clear.
Yeah.
You've got pastimes that keep you disciplined. You're learning teamwork from different sports.
Yeah.
And those are all things that I think prepared me very well in life. You know, school sports, university sports, going to the Air Force, learning discipline, learning how to work with others. These are all very important entrepreneurial things. And health is wealth. Without your health, you're not going to get through it. And I've had my own personal experience with that. And when you come out the other side, you realize how important it is to you.
Look, guys, I can't agree more with him. As a team player, I do that every day. Me and my wife, we're a great team. I make the money, she spends it. Without that sort of situation, teamwork. I mean, I'm used to it now. You know, I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from. Every time people ask me, "Where's the money?" Like, I don't know. Where's Omera? Where's the money? Anyway, so I think it was fantastic having you on board. What is your future ideas of where you want to be? Like, are you still going to be involved in these businesses, you think, or you want to go into something completely different?
No. We're sticking to our guns. We're trying to be the best brand custodians of luxury brands in South Africa and Africa. And we've amalgamated, very fortunately, some of the most fantastic brands in the world, from Rolex to Rolls-Royce over the years.
Unbelievable.
And it's a privilege to represent these brands. All we want to do is represent them in the right way and be great brand custodians. And most importantly, to bring new brands to South Africa. Every brand we've brought here wasn't in the country before, nearly all of them.
Yeah.
And people underrate South Africa, and I'm a huge patriot. And I want to bring things to South Africa. I certainly don't want to take things out of South Africa, and I want to show people that South Africa is a force to be reckoned with. We've got customers for these brands, and we've got some of the best dealerships, retail stores. I'm not saying myself, I'm saying in South Africa in general,
Yeah.
between various people like yourself, which you've just built. Some of the best in the world. And when we get visitors here from other countries, they're quite astounded as to the level of retail and the level of brand representation and the fixtures and fittings and the
What about
strength of it.
What about growing your business into buying other local brands? Have you thought about that? Like, I know whenever I see you driving a Porsche, as an example, right? And you never want to sell them to me because you say it's bad for you.
Joker.
But what about stuff like that? Because that needs new blood. I mean,
Yeah, we're always looking at brands that, so I mean, our simple philosophy, and maybe this is something you guys can take away, is I don't run out there looking for new customers or new products to sell to new customers out there. I stick to my customer base and adding products for them.
I
So
got you.
to explain that nicely, I've got a top-end customer base, and whether I sell them an apartment, a car, a watch, some paddle, they can come be a member at my paddle
You've got a
club.
paddle club, yeah.
Whatever they want to do with us, we talk to one base of customers, and what we try and do is slot products or brands or
That fit in
services
that category.
into that category. It's much easier to get new products for your existing base than to go find a new base.
Sure.
It's hell of a hard to make a customer base
How
and
does
look
it
after
work, Justin? Just a quick one for entrepreneurs out there. How do you own cross brands? Something amazing which you've managed to sort of put together under one roof. Just think about it. If you go to the UK, you'll never find an Aston Martin showroom with a Rolls-Royce showroom with Pagani in it. How is that sort of worked with the brands? How have they accepted that?
So I think it's taken took a bit of time to convince the brands that this is the right way to do it. I think the size of our country and the market's quite small. That people you need some critical mass to make it work.
Of
It's
course.
quite difficult to succeed only with one brand because of all the economies of scale, of workshops, of staff, of marketing. We also started off with a theme of more British brands. So initially it was Rolls-Royce,
Very
Aston
true.
Martin, McLaren. They don't really compete with each other. They fill different niches. So we've always
But
been
they-
careful
so,
to
yeah.
take niches that work
Makes sense.
and not to take a directly competing brand. And once again, it comes back to looking after the brands and providing a service as a good brand custodian and to your customers that you're giving them the right
I
story.
just want to tell you guys something about Justin. Don't worry, just calm down. That Justin is also on his second or third marriage, right? Am I right in saying that? But, and I'm going to say this because I'm also sort of like part of that second, third marriage thing.
Sort of.
But how has that helped you in your business, that strong woman behind you? Explain that, because entrepreneurs, listen very carefully to this. Not necessarily only a woman, it could also be a partner, depending on what category you're in. But the bottom line is that something as entrepreneurs so important for you to listen to another entrepreneur talk about how home is important and why.
Sure. You can't have a hectic work life and a hectic home life. You need a settled home life. You need a supporting team. Your kids, your wife most importantly in terms of supporting you in what you do, understanding your vision and what the long hours are for at the end of the day. And it's paramount. It really, really is to have family behind you. And if you can get to work with family, as I did with my brother for many years, even better, you know.
How in working with your wife, would that not work?
My wife's got her own business, very successful, and with that I back her up with as well and
Wonderful.
support her and give her advice. But she doesn't need my help. She does it all on her own.
Ah, it's so nice, Justin. Listen, guys, good messages taking out of Justin. Thank you, brother, for spending some valuable time. I hope that at some stage we can include Justin into our program of raising capital. We have spent, I don't know what was the amount, was it 30 million? I think, or we put 30 bars into this. We're growing it as we go along, and I hope that going down the road we'll find more and more successful entrepreneurs, not only to put money in, but to give advice. And thank you, my brother, once again.
Thanks for having me.
It was
Really appreciate it.
Really nice seeing you, and I wish you great strength.
Question
The questions. Oh, sorry, just cancel that last bit. Justin's going to take some questions here. Fire. Oh, you have to use the earpiece, or will you just? Oh, here you go. So, Justin, have you cleaned your ears? No, I'm joking. Just pop this into one of your ears. Okay, so how does it work? Who's online? Claudia. Is it Claudia or Claudia? I don't want to get it wrong. Hello. Hi, Claudia. How you doing? Thank you very
Hi,
much
Claudia.
for taking so time on a Sunday night for us. Huh? You want me to what?
Thank you. It's such a privilege to be speaking with two of South Africa's leading business tycoons.
Oh,
Moving
you got to put your video on. Sorry, I thought they telling me to send you a video. Can you put you put your video on so we can see you? Yeah.
I'm not really trying to do that right now. I struggled a bit with my mic. But
Okay,
moving
no
to
problem.
moving to my question,
Okay.
business is hard. What factors would you say have set you apart from others and played a role in achieving extraordinary success? Does it come down to discipline, luck, who you know? Let us in on the secret on what's been pivotal for you.
Look, I don't know about Justin, but I'm going to give you mine is a very short answer, and mine is just being completely stubborn and obstinate about what I want, making sure I have the tenacity and just firing every time someone says no. I keep on taking the constructive criticism and making sure I try and make whatever I'm selling better and then go for it. Because if you make your decision based on what one person will give you a response and accept that that's what it is, you're never going to be successful. You're just going to be living in other people's shadows, and you're going to be living in other people's criticism. So me being stubborn, obstinate, and very pushy around what I want to do and having the tenacity to achieve it has been great. Justin, how about you?
Yeah, I think touching on Junaid, definitely never give up attitude after being turned down many times, very important. But also for me, I think two most important things are the people. People I've surrounded myself with, both as partners, employees. People get you there, they get you over the line, and without the right people, you're not getting there. And then second most important thing to me is creating a network. So my advice to you and other entrepreneurs out there is from a young age, even from school, start making a network, mix with the right people that are like-minded to you, who not necessarily are successful people, but entrepreneurial people who've got the right vision, who make things happen, and create a network. Because I think for me, my most important asset today is a network. Being able to pick up the phone to guys like Junaid, or anybody out there who can maybe make something happen for you or assist you or open a door for you. Network is paramount. So that would be my answer. Good question, that, Claudia. Thanks.
Oh, fantastic, Claudia. I hope that answers your question for now.
Thank you.
Enjoy your evening, Claudia. Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
eh?
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye. Okay, who's next? Omar. Uma. UMA? Ah, fantastic. Do we have a list of the people? Oh, that was Claudia Roxanne. What a name. Cool. And this is Umar. Is it Umar or Uma? Hello there. Umar, are you there? Hello? Umar? Do you copy? Oh, I saw something. Ah, there's Omar. It's not Umar, it's Omar. What's wrong with you guys? Omar is a Muslim guy. I saw him now. Put Omar online. I can't see him, buddy. Okay, doesn't matter. Can you hear me, Omar? Salaam alaikum. Omar. He's on mute or what? Okay, let's get to the next person then. I'm getting like funny pictures of green men with things. Oh. All right, so Omar is not here. Is Shingai online? Okay, Shingai, are you there, buddy? Ma'am? Is Shingai? Hello?
Shingai.
The signal is horrible, huh? Oh, what's going on?
Maybe they have load shedding or something.
We have load shedding.
Maybe. We'll just blame
You know what, guys? Hi, Shingai, can you hear me, bud? Yeah, but we can't hear him.
It's unmute.
No, it's a signal
I
that's
think
very
it's
bad.
signal.
I think we're gonna cut this issue of the order of the calls now because it's wasting time, to be quite honest with you. With two of them, we can't get through to them. The signals are very bad.
Look fine here.
I think he's working now.
I think he's
You're
working.
unmuted, Shingai.
Shinga, are you there, buddy?
I'm
Shinga,
How is this?
the signal's so bad. Oh,
This is full now.
oh, what a pity, man.
Can him put the next one and see.
Oh, the signal, it's not anyone's fault here, but the signal, it's load shedding, is it not? Sorry, guys, I didn't realize it's load shedding.
You got someone.
Here we have somebody.
Karen?
Taryn Phillips. We give this one a shot. If it's not,
Hi guys.
Hi,
hi, we
Taryn.
can hear you, Taryn.
Hi, can you see me?
No, unless
yet,
you
but
the
we
two
can hear
dots
you.
moving around and that thing. No, we don't
All right,
see
I
you,
think
Taryn.
it's just the signal.
That's the signal, I think so. We've been struggling tonight. But shoot, Taryn, tell us, what is it
All
we
right,
can do,
so
Phillips?
I'm going to divert from the original question that I had emailed through. What I want to find out, so I've obviously been trying to obtain funding / investing for the past 3 years for my company. And, obviously constantly hitting a wall. And what is the general consensus around it is, the funders or the banks, they're looking for contracts. And then you've got I just realized my camera wasn't open. That's funny.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All right. And then, obviously the banks would want your contracts from your suppliers or, the people that are purchasing your product. And then, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because the people that would want to purchase my product, they need a site inspection because it's got to do with human consumption. So in order for me to set up a facility or to set up my factory, I would need the funding. So there's just this constant vicious cycle of, sort of being in the middle and not being able to please either or. What do you do?
Sharon, we didn't hear anything. Can you repeat that question? No, I'm just joking. There
Sure.
was quite a long question there, man.
Sorry.
Are you awake there? Sharon, I hear you. You're probably selling a food product and stuff, and like that's the problem. And the banks, what you want to finance working capital is what I'm sort of understanding, right? So,
Correct.
do you have debtors? Do you have people that owe you money for the supply of product? And
Not at the moment, no. So what we did was we actually opened up during lockdown. We traded to our the local market, and after getting to a point where I was brave enough to approach industry giants, I stopped trading because we were at a point where we were a middleman, and our manufacturer at the point was starting to mess up our orders. So we just for the past year stopped trading. I don't know, was that a bad or a good thing?
I don't,
And then we just
to be honest with you, it sounds like you need capital once again. Yes?
correctly. Yes, yes.
So I think you've tried all the banks and you've seen that over a period of time is not successful. Maybe you should start by
Right.
looking at private investors that have like-minded views around your business or family,
All right.
uncle.
Yes.
I'm not saying your uncle, but an uncle, an aunt, a family, your father, your stepfather, whatever it is. It's easier to convince them because they actually know you. And what I mean by
Correct.
this, in the olden days, you would be able to go to a bank like Justin and you'd be able to say, listen, I'm Justin, you know me, etc. And there was an amount of value that they placed on namesake lending and amount of value
Yes.
they placed on the person that you are. Today, nobody cares
Yes.
about that in the banking industry. You're just another
Yes.
number. You phone Discovery
Yes.
Bank, they don't even want to talk to you with a human being. You got to go through like all of that
True.
computer nonsense.
Yes.
Eventually, they send you a
Yes.
computer result of you're an idiot or we don't want to help you. It's easy, I suppose, for them to
Yes.
say, but maybe if
Yeah.
you get a hold of like-minded people and find that
Okay.
find that space where they can respect you or know who you are and your deliverables, because it
Yes.
seems like your business doesn't have security, which means you're going to have to rely on
Yes.
yourself. I don't know. What do you think, Justin? You want to give us some money for making
No,
sure?
I agree. I agree with Sinead. I think the other thing is you touched on that you were a middleman before and you had a business going. You were let down by your
Correct.
suppliers. If you could get that going again as the middleman, because obviously you didn't need capital because you weren't setting up a factory as the middleman. But if you could get that going again with other suppliers in the meantime and get a track record with some net profit showing monthly, you'd have a track record to go back to the banks and you've got an income stream and say, listen, here's my income stream. I know what I'm doing. I've got the end users. I'm using unreliable suppliers, but I'm still making money every month. And I'd like you to fund me to fulfill the start of the chain, the actual manufacturing process. So you need a year or two of trading the way you were. So maybe try reset up your middleman setup, because obviously you were successful, you're making a living, but your suppliers were unreliable. Get some new suppliers if you can, with the aim that within 12 months to approach a bank and show them a track record that you are making money, you can service a loan, but you could be making double the money if you were the manufacturer. And then they've got something to look at and a track record to perhaps lend you money on, and maybe they take an equity stake with you. Or if it's not a bank, you could approach an entrepreneur to fund you once you've got a track record where he knows you can repay it and you know what you're doing in the market and you've got customers.
You see what he's saying?
Makes sense.
Listen to him.
Yes.
Everybody wants a track record. It's very true what you're saying. We just started a relationship with a new Chinese supplier for some material out of Zimbabwe. And the first thing they asked us is, how long are you going? We said we're going 7 or 8 years in the mine. And then they exactly wanted to do a site inspection. And we moved away from Glencore out of this particular operation and went to this Chinese supplier. But they wanted a track record, because without that, you can't get money, or you can't get even someone to buy your product. You know. I hope this helps you, my dear, and thank you for the nice questions.
Immensely. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your time.
Wish you luck. I hope it goes well.
Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Bye.
ciao. Bye.
Chai. Nishlin, how you doing, buddy? Hi, Nishlin, are you live there?
How's it? Can you hear me?
Yes. Is it Dr. Nishlin Naidu? Is that the same Nishlin?
Great webinar, guys. I have two questions. Once you get your business up and running, there are two key components that you need in terms of the management and the daily running of your business. People, and the second thing would be systems. And I just want to know how you go about hiring people or finding the right people, the right mindset to work in the companies that you run. And the second thing I want to know is, what are the systems and the simple systems that you implement into your day-to-day business runnings that make your business tick? I mean, the way I think about business, it's like a vehicle, like a motor car. Justin, and Zuneja are both car fanatics. So, if you pop the hood on a car and you look at an engine, there's a whole lot of systems going on there. And it's very hard for the layman to understand the inner workings of a motor vehicle. But if you look at the radiator, if you look at the alternator, you understand those subsystems and you can have some insight into business. So I'd like to know, in terms of your day-to-day running for your businesses, what are some of the simple systems you implement that make your business tick?
Justin, I'm going to leave that one to you, because I know you used to go to Miss SA to find employees. No, I'm joking. No. I'm going to let Justin have a shot at the first one.
So, Nishlin, just on your first question regarding finding employees, I think the first thing you need to do is look outside the box and not look traditionally in the industry you're in or the industry you're looking for. My specific modus operandi, which I'm not saying everyone should stick to, I look for younger people, students, casual workers who maybe came into the business to work on the weekends when they're still at school, university, people who are hungry, people who share vision, not necessarily knowing anything about cars, watches, whatever the discipline they were coming into, but willing to work the hours and willing to learn and get molded, rather than taking on, in the car industry, you've got a saying that a car salesman is not the most well-respected person. It's got a bit of a stigma to it, like an estate agent.
Jewel Street mode.
And I don't like to take on other car salesmen, because we talk about taking on someone else's problems from another business or dealership, and they come with the same mindset, come with the same problems, the same tricks. And I always find it far better to bring on some fresh blood, maybe with a nice BCom degree or financial understanding, and train that young person up into the business and mold them within time. So that's my side on finding people. And I find people in all sorts of places. I've very rarely used an employment agency. Even to this day, we don't use employment agencies. I might find them in a coffee shop as a waiter. I might find a barman. I might find somebody who serves me in the Apple store, who I think could sell Rolls Royces rather than Apple cell phones.
You're
So-
stealing a lot of people's employees. I got you.
So they're people you interact with in your daily life. Once again, network, mixing with people, getting out there. You know,
Makes sense.
getting to a lot of people, and that's how
Yeah.
you find other people. If you're going to sit in your office all day and think they're going to come in the door, you're not going to find winners. You're going to find people who just want a salary.
Look, I think Justin's
Sure.
right from a retail perspective. From a mining perspective, very much difficult because I'm not like hanging around at Groot Marikana there, like, you know, waiting for a guy to pitch up and have a beer with me. But standing on the side of the road saying free beer, job employment and hand here. No, I think when it comes to stuff like that, I have seen that a lot is to do with guys that know other guys in the mining industry. So
Yeah.
you find somebody, you get to learn and trust them in your business, see their capabilities, and they say, hey, you know, we know someone where we used to work. So referrals for me is something so important.
Good point.
You know, and then you can rely. If something goes wrong or the guy messes something up, you can say, hey, Hannes, or you, Johan, whatever it is, you know, this guy messed up, but you spoke well about him and you stood good for him. I think that for me is so important. When a guy is standing good for another guy, he's kind of putting his job on the line for him. So it gives me some comfort getting people like that. So, that's number one. And then your second question is with systems.
Yeah.
What systems you put in place? Jesus, but you know, I don't think we have enough time the whole night to talk about it. But I mean, for me, I know that you need to pass delegated authority to people that you trust, and you need to
Okay.
allow them to be able to do their work. If you're going to micromanage your business, then you might as well be an entrepreneur doing everything, and then you're never going to grow. So whoever you're giving that job to is someone you need to completely trust, can execute that work, and perhaps at best oversee that he's doing a job. He probably won't do a job as good as you would want him to do, because you could always think you do it better, because you think sometimes you do better than the people you employ, which is not necessarily the truth. But generally, you would want to oversee them. And with growth means you need to delegate. And if you can't delegate, no growth. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I agree. I agree.
So, are you Dr. Nishlan?
Yeah.
Hey, I saw you last night, man. You pretending to be.
Yeah, I know.
someone
It was
else,
fantastic
yeah,
show.
buddy.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
thanks for the show.
Thank you, buddy.
It was a
so
great
nice
event.
seeing you. Please give your wife my
Thanks.
best. And,
Yeah, sure, I
and I
will.
hope to see you again, Nishlan. Thank you, buddy. God bless you.
Definitely. Thanks, bro.
Cheers, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Ciao, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Natalie Solomons. Is that right? But it's only a picture. Natalie, are you live with us? Hello? This is the last one, huh? Is that right? Because we missed Mayahabu Mashola. Natalie, are you there? Natalie? Hello? I think the signal's horrible. I think we should just cut the balance of these calls away. You happy? Okay, put the call down maybe. Sorry, Natalie. Forgive us. On that note, once again, Justin, thank you very much, my brother. You're
Thanks,
so
Sue.
much.
Thanks for having me.
I know it doesn't feel like we're almost 50 years old or you're there already. But geez, it's been a long road, eh, buddy?
It
We
is.
wish
Long
you
time
well.
together, and
Honestly, we'll see you in December.
wish you all the
my
best.
buddy.
The good work you're
Thank
doing.
you, my buddy.
Thanks, eh?
Thanks. Well, that was Justin Devaris, and it was a pleasure having him on board for tonight, because it just made me realize how young I am. No, I'm joking. It was fantastic. Cheers, Justin. Cheers, Mark. God bless you. Go nicely. And I just want to say out there, guys, this is just another example of a young man that started out with great dreams and aspirations and wanting to be in a position to have the best of life for him and his family, and to achieve something that he's been dreaming about over a period of time as a kid and so on. And I think that nothing can stop you, honestly, other than yourself. So stop finding excuses not to have a second, third, or fourth attempt at whatever it is that you're getting right or wrong. Make sure that you're pushing harder every single day. Make sure that you're getting everybody around you motivated. And as Justin said earlier on, getting your team to work nicely around you. Don't be put back and put down around people that are negative. But do take constructive criticism seriously and make sure that you add value to it. So let's talk about winners. Guys, have we got a winners? Tell me we got winners. Fantastic. Discuss health a few minutes after FE. Did I discuss the health story? No. Should I elaborate? So about the health thing, guys, it's so important, because I think for me, when I started getting tired all the time, I couldn't understand what was wrong. But because I don't want to acknowledge what's wrong with me, I put it behind me and I try and forget about the issue. And you shouldn't be in that position. You should take seriously your body's warning signs. It's like a motor vehicle, like we spoke about. They have all those little buttons in your dashboard, and when it goes orange, it means change the brakes, or red, it's very dangerous. Your body is giving you signals that things are not good, things are bad, things are not cool. Listen to your body. Stop trying to be a big boss. Stop trying to know everything. Listen to your body and go and take the necessary advice from the doctors that you need so that you can catch the problem early so that you can resolve it. It goes like, and I want to leave you with something very important, a thought which has been on my mind this whole week. I'm stepping away from the healthcare thing now. But it's about why we argue with people. Have you ever thought about that? Why do you actually argue with someone? And I was thinking about it very in detail this last week, and I thought to myself, why do I fight with someone? Or my wife, for an example. I'll give you an example. Why do I fight with her? Because I want her to understand my perspective. Or because I'm upset because she didn't understand my perspective. Or I'm upset because she's not acknowledging my view on something. So it's always about something that the next person needs to understand that makes you argumentative and argue with them. Now, take that in the business sense, and you get upset with a business colleague and associate because they're not understanding your perspective, or they're not buying into your perspective, or they're not giving you the support that you want. But then, stupidly, we go on and we continue fighting. How dumb is that? So we escalate the fight, and he said this, and I said this, and I sent him an attorney's letter, and then I sent him an ugly SMS, and this, for what? When all you really want is to communicate. So you argue with people, and you fight with people, and you have these silly type of suspended time animation in business because they don't see eye to eye with you, they don't see your perspective. But then, given the opportunity to resolve it, ego creeps in, arrogance creeps in, and what happens then? You're at a loss because what you started off by getting upset about is no longer the issue. The issue has now become a war of attrition. I'll win this. He must understand me. I'll make him understand. Hey, no one's going to do business with you then. So the first opportunity you get in an argument to resolve a matter, and you have that opportunity and you feel that you can level the playing field by explaining to that person in a nice, beautiful, calm way what your perspective is and what they're missing out. Use that, because the person that resolves the argument first is actually the winner. And that's the message I'm going to leave you with tonight. Remember, the person that's able to resolve the problem or the impasse first and put the white flag out first, it doesn't make you weak. It makes you powerful and stronger, because you don't have to be a weak person to know, or a strong person to know, that winning is about communicating and not winning an argument. It's about communicating and getting the other person on sides with you. Okay, enough of that. I hope you enjoyed this tonight. I'm going to tell you about winners. Let's talk about winners tonight. Do we have names?
Yeah, so the 50,000 Rand winner, it's all automatically selected.
Okay, is it all in there? Okay, guys, so
We're going to go live now with the 50K.
after this and after I hang up, we're going to go. I'm not hanging up.
We're going to phone the 50K winner.
Or we're going to phone him.
Win.
Okay,
Yeah, so
did you
it
pick
needs
them?
to go up now.
Okay, it's going up. It's doing its thing. The 50,000 Rand winner is going to be announced. Okay, here we go. It says Marty Moose, we have now 50,000 Rand, and we're spinning. And it is random. I promise you, it's not going to stop in one of my employees or anything like that. Just chill out. Please. Can I please get a Coke, Pepsi? Andisiwe Paswa. Come on, give me that name again. It's disappeared now. What's wrong with you? I didn't get that surname. Come on, what's wrong with you, IT? All right, so we're phoning Andeliswe. Should I wear the earpiece now, or what?
No, you can just.
Oh, right. Here we go. Hi, Andy, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Hey, IT.
Hello?
Right, Andesiwe, your name came up. You were watching this particular show.
Yes, I was
And
watching.
I have bad news for you. You didn't win 100,000 Rand. But I have good news that you won 50 grand. How does that feel? Is that tears of joy that I hear there? Because
Yes,
it sounds fantastic. I'm so happy to hear
I
that.
believe it.
No, fantastic. And what do you do, my dear?
No, I'm working in for research, clinical trials.
Oh, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
And how's that going? Are you earning a good amount of money? Is everything okay?
Not at all. Not at all. No, I'm going to study full time next year.
Oh, fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that because this money is going to come in good handy. In good hand. What in good handy.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So, what is your plans for December? Please don't use the money to chill out. Spend it on the education.
Definitely not.
I'm so happy to hear this. Are you a parent or are you still just only a young student? What is it you?
No, I'm 44 years old.
Oh, fantastic!
Yes, I'll be doing my master's, but it's permanent.
I'm so
Master's
happy.
in epidemiology.
Oh wow!
And that's so from January. That's where I'll be.
I am so happy that you're the winner. Honestly, I don't think I could have picked someone better and under the better circumstances. Congratulations, congratulations. And I wish you well, my dear. And with the help of Almighty, you're going to do fantastically. And you got your 50,000 rand. I say rand, I can't believe I said
Thank you
rand.
so much.
50,000 rand. And I wish that your education is going to be fantastic for you. And I could hear in your voice that you were so happy. Have a fantastic balance of the year.
Thank you. Thanks.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's Andy, guys, listeners, fantastic. Another life changed. Another person made to smile, forced to smile. And now there are 40 winners, and they're going to come up as we're going along. So I can say my goodbyes. I'm saying goodbye. I'm saying love you lots. I'm saying next year we're going to have more and amazing entrepreneurs on my show so that you can get insights from other people as well and get to understand how people get to where they need to get and what mistakes they've made and learn from other people's mistakes. So on that note, I'm thanking everybody out there for being fantastic to me this year, for being so supportive, for being amazing. And I love you all. And I hope that these shows have added some value and this webinar have added some great value to you. I hope that you see that I'm very committed to the youth and to entrepreneurs. Love you lots. Bye-bye. Cheers. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.